Hello everyone and assalamu alaikum. Today we're gonna try and do a walkthrough of the foundation paper, the Edexcel Maths GCSE foundation paper, and this is the 2018 one. So let's get started. We'll try and do as many questions as possible in this video. If we don't manage to do all of them, then we'll break it up into parts and do it over a couple of videos. Let's see how it goes, right? Let's get started. Right, here's the first question. It says write 6,324 correct to the nearest thousand. A lot of people will not need any help on this question, but just in case someone does, so what I'm going to do is just quickly write down the place values on top of each of the numbers. So we start off with the units, and the tens, hundreds, and thousands. So then you have to see if 6 to the nearest thousand, if 6,324, so it can either, if you're rounding to the nearest thousand, you're going up in thousands, so you have 6,000 and 7,000. So which is this number closer to? Is it closer to 6,000 or 7,000? It is closer to 6,000, so you round it down to 6,000, and that would be your answer. Okay, didn't want to spend that much time on this question, but there we go. Right, so 6,324 to the nearest thousand is 6,000. Next one, write the following numbers in order of size. Start with the smallest number. So the smallest number here is -6. Write that down, -6, and then -5, 0, 6, and 12. Okay, write the following numbers in order of size. Start with the smallest number. My advice to anyone doing this question, especially if you're doing it the foundation paper, is write the place values. These kind of questions have the largest number of mistakes. So I'd write units, decimal point, tenths, hundreds, thousandths. Here I'd write units, tenths, hundredths, units, tenths, hundredths, units, tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So let's go. How do we use these place values? Look, the place value on the left, the last place value on the left is the largest one. So in each one of them, units is the largest one. And let me just show you this. Right, all four of the units are 0. So that's fine. So we can't actually do anything about that. We'll go to the next place value, which is the tenths. We'll see if the number which has the smallest tenths. Okay, so it says start with the smallest number, so we're looking for the one with the smallest tenths. So this tenth is 0, this tenth is 7, this tenth is 8, this tenth is 7. So our smallest number is the one with the tenth, which is 0. That's 0.078. So we've done the first bit. We've got two numbers that shared the same tenth, which was 7. So for those two numbers, that's 0.78 and 0.708. For those two numbers, now we're going to compare the hundredths. So if you look at the hundredths, 0.708 has a hundredth of 0, and 0.78 has a hundredth of 8. That means 0.708 is smaller than 0.78. So I'll write 0.708. Then I'll write 0.78. This is the same as 0.780 actually. So if there was a thousandth, this would be the thousand. And then the last number would be 0.87. So be a bit careful when doing this particular kind of question. Make sure you get your place values first. Right, let's move on to the next one. Write 20% as a fraction. To write a percentage as a fraction, just write it over 100. It does not say in its simplest form, but I am going to write it in its simplest form. So I've got 20 over 100, and both of them come in the 20 times table. I can divide them by 20. And that's equal to 1 over 5. Right, let's carry on. Next question. Here is a list of 4 fractions: 4 over 16, 2 over 8, 15 over 60, and 3 over 9. One of these fractions is not equivalent to 1 over 4. Write down this fraction. So what I'm going to do is, for each of these fractions, I'm going to try and simplify. Let's see. So 4 and 16 both come in the 4 times table. So I'm going to divide top and bottom by 4. And that gives me 1 over 4. 2 and 8, 2 over 8 come both in the 4 times table. So I'm going to divide by 2. This is called simplifying a fraction. And that gives me 1 over 4. Okay. 15 and 60 both come in the 15 times table. So I divide both of them by 15. Oops, forgot the 15. So that is also 1 over 4. And 3 and 9 come in the 3 times table. So divide by 3. And that gives me 1 over 3. So the fraction which is not equivalent to 1 over 4 is 3 over 9. Okay, moving on. Next one. Okay, write down the first even multiple of 7. Now, just for those of you who don't know what a multiple is, so 2 times 3 is 6. So 6 is a multiple or a product of 2 and 3. And 2 and 3 are factors of 6. Okay, just on a side note, so multiples of 7 are numbers in the 7 times table. So if you write the numbers in the 7 times table, 7, 14, well 14 is even, 7 was odd, so 14 is the first even multiple of 7. Right, next. Simplify 3 times 40. In algebra, whenever a number and letter are written together, that means they are multiplying. So 3 times 40 will give you 12t. Simplify 8a minus 3a plus 2a. They are all like terms. To be like terms, you need to have the same letter and the same power. So they're all a's and they have the same power. So 8a minus 3a will give you 5a. 5a plus 2a is just 7a. There's no real working out required for this 1 mark question. Okay, let's go to this question here. I've tried to zoom out and fit it in one page. So I'll read this question out. Here is a probability scale. It shows the probability of each of the events A, B, C, and D. The events A has a probability of 0. It's impossible. B is, well, looks like it's unlikely. It's very close to 0. C is above a half. And D is certain because it's on 1. Right? Write down the letter of the event which is certain. Well, that's D. So let's just quickly write that down. Write down the letter of the event which is unlikely. That will be B, as it is close to 0, but it is not impossible. There are 12 counters in a bag. 3 of the counters are red. Okay. 1 of the counters is blue. 2 of the counters are yellow. So we got 3 plus 1 plus 2, and that's 6 counters gone. So it says the rest of the counters are green. That means we got 6 green counters. Okay. Caitlin takes at random a counter from the bag. Show that the probability that this counter is yellow or green is 2 over 3. So to get the probability to be yellow or green. Now these outcomes cannot happen both at the same time. So when you take a counter, it cannot be yellow as well as green at the same time. They're different colors, right? It would be either yellow or green. So when you're finding the probability of yellow or green, you can add these two probabilities, because these cannot be the same color at the same time. It cannot be yellow and green at the same time. Okay, the same counter, that means. So if I picked one counter, it will not be yellow and green at the same time. Okay, so the probability of getting a yellow, how many yellows were there? Let's go back to the question. There were 2 counters that were yellow out of 12, plus, because there's an or, how many counters were green? We had 6 out of 12. When adding fractions, the denominator needs to be the same, which is the case. So you add the numerators. 2 plus 6 is 8, and you let the denominators be the same, 8 over 12. Now you don't need to simplify unless the question specifies it. Over here it says the probability of green is 2 over 3. 8 and 12 come in the 4 times table, so we're going to divide both of these by 4. And that would give us 8 divided by 4 is 2, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. And there we go. We've got that same probability over here. Alright, let's move on to the next question. 3 kilograms of meat costs 54 pounds. Right. Nina buys 2 kilograms of the meat. Work out how much Nina pays. Well, what I would suggest is, for some people, it might be better for them to visualize this. So I would just quickly draw like a rectangle or grid thing. Okay. And split it into 3 parts. Okay, and then let's go back. So we know that this is 3 kilograms. So each part is 1 kilogram. And it costs 54 pounds. So to find 1 kilogram, I would do 54 divided by 3. And I can work that out by doing the bus stop. Either long division or short division. I'm going to do short division here. So 3 goes into 5 once, remainder 2. And the new number is 24. And 3 goes into 24 8 times. That gives me 18. So each kilogram is 18 pounds. Very expensive meat. Okay. Then Nina buys 2 of them, so you do 18 pounds times 2, which is 36 pounds. And you could do this by short multiplication if you want, right? But just by doing 18 times 2, 2 times 8 is 16, carry the 1, 2 times 1 is 2, add 1 is 3. Okay, moving on to the next question. The center of the circle is marked with a cross. Write down the mathematical name for the straight line shown in the circle. The straight line shown in the circle goes, one second, from the center of the circle to the circumference. This line is called a radius. So we just write down radius. Okay, write down the mathematical name for the straight line that is touching the circle. The line that is touching the circle, this one here, touches the circumference of the circle at one point only, and it will never ever 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 touch it again. This line has a special name. It's called a tangent. Right, moving on. Next question. Tim and 3 friends go on holiday together for a week. The 4 friends will share the cost of the holiday equally. Here are the costs of the holiday. £1,280 for 4 return plane tickets, £640 for the villa, £220 for hire of a car for the week. Work out how much Tim has to pay for his share of the costs. So my starting point would be add up all the costs together. £1,280 for the plane tickets, £640 for the villa, £220 for the car. Add it up. Again, gives you 0. 8 plus 2 is 10, plus 4 is 14. Or 8 plus 4 is 12, plus 2 is 14. Carry the 1. 3, 9, 11. Carry the 1. £2,140. Right, now I need to divide this by 4, I believe. How many? Yeah, there are 4 friends. So 2,140 divided by 4. To do that, I'm going to do the bus stop over here. 2,140. Right, 4 does not go into 2, so that's a remainder of 2. 4 goes into 21 5 times, remainder 1. 4 goes into 14 3 times, remainder 2. And 4 goes into 20 5 times. So the answer is £535 for Tim's holiday. Okay, let's move on. Question 11. Write down an example to show that each of the following 2 statements is not correct. Okay, so we have to prove that they are not correct. The factors, alright, remember factors from previously. The factors of an even number, I don't know why, 1 second, let me just see. Alright, it is working. Wait, it doesn't work here. Can I write? Right, I'll write the answer for this question on the right hand side. For some reason I can't write on the white bit at the moment. Okay. Let me try in a different color. No, it doesn't work. Okay. The factors of an even number are always even. Actually no, because 1 times 2 is 2, and 5 times 2 is 10. 1 is a factor of 2, and it is not, and it is odd. And 5 is a factor of 10, and it is odd. I just need to write any one. I've written 2 examples down. All the digits in an odd number are odd. Well, number 27 is an odd number, but 2, which is the 10th position, is an even number. Don't know why I can't write on the white bit. And that's an example over there. Right, let's try the next question. Can I write? Okay, I can write here, but I can't write on the previous one. Very strange. Okay, a shop sells desktop computers, laptops, and tablets. Right, let's go the composite bar chart. So this is a composite bar chart. One of them stacked on top of the other. A dual bar chart would be the one where they write stop to next to each other, not on top of each other, but next to each other. The composite bar chart shows information about sales over the 3 years. So desktop computers is the black bit, laptops is the diagonal lines, and tablets are the grey bits. Write down the number of desktop computers sold in 2015. So we're just finding this bit, and that is 100. So that answer is just 100. Okay. Work out the total number of laptops sold in the 3 years. Let's go back. So the laptops sold in the 3 years. Which one's laptops? The diagonal lines. Whoa, drop the pen. Okay. So let's see. That's 150. So this distance is 150. How much is this? How do I know that? Oh, that's 1. Actually, is it 150? Let's see. Let's zoom in. Yeah, that's better. Right, it's not 150. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 little squares, and each little square is 20, so it's 160. It's a good thing I zoomed in, otherwise we would have got that one wrong. Okay, let's see how many squares is this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11, so that's 220. And the last one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 times 20 is 280. Let's zoom out. Okay, so we've got 160, 280, and 220. So let's go on the next page, and we'll sort this out. So we had 160, 220, 280. Let's add them up. 6, 8, 16. Carry the 1, 2, 4, 6. 660. Make it. There we go. Right, what's the next question? State the item that had the greatest increase in sales over the 3 years. Give a reason for your answer. Let's go back. We can see visually that it was tablets that has had the greatest increase over the 3 years. Okay, so tablets have had the greatest increase. Why? And if we go back and look at the diagrams, let's choose this. So in 2015, let's zoom in a bit more. They were 3. So each one is 20. There were only 60 tablets sold. Wait, that's 60 tablets. Over here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. 160, because each little square is what do you say? To this one here, how many do we have? Whoa, we got 3 here, 5, 8, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So I've got 17 little squares. That's 340 tablets. So I did 17 times 20, and that's 340. Let's move this up. Okay, so what is it? In 2015 we had 60. In 2015 only 60 tablets were sold. I'm using a tablet right now to write, but not the kind of tablet that is mentioned over here. year was this? 2000, 2015, right? 2015. Yeah. In 2016, they were 160. Apologies for the handwriting. I'm just trying to rush it at the moment. And in 2017, just quickly rub that out. In 2017, what was that? Let's try again. Struggling a little bit with the tablet at the moment. Don't know what's wrong. There are 160 tablets. Okay, it started working. Okay. In 2007. Okay. In 2017, there were 340 tablets sold. Apologies for this, but my tablet seems to be having an issue with this question. Okay. Let's move on to the next. Alex says in 2017 more tablets were sold than desktop computers. This means the shop makes more profit from the sale of tablets than from the sale of desktop computers. Is Alex correct? Let's go back to the question. It just tells you, this bar chart just tells you information about the sales from the three devices. It doesn't say anything about profit. So what I would say is you must justify your answer. This is not necessarily true. Whoa, again. Stop working again. Don't know what's happening. As the bar chart there's something wrong in the middle section over here, which is causing a problem for me. Yep.
quarters into a percentage. So to do that, I can do 3 over 4. It's a fraction. To change it into percent, multiply by 100. And to do that, I'll do 3 times 100 is 300. And 300 divided by 4. So multiply by the numerator, divide by the denominator. I don't know why it's playing up. Okay. So 4 goes into 3 0 times. I made 3. 4 goes in 37 times, 28, so remainder 2. And 4 goes into 25 times, so the answer is 75. So this is 75%. So he spends 75%, so he saves 25%. So 100 minus 75 is 25. How did I get that? I did 100% minus 75%. Okay, so Gavin's still saving more by 3%. The amount of salary Isabel saves to the amount of salary she spends is 3 to 7. So the fraction she saves is, hello? Okay, it's 3 out of 10 because 3 plus 7 is 10. So we are looking at 10 parts, and amount she spends is 7 out of 10. So what's 3/10 as a percentage? 3/10 as a percentage, sorry. 3 over 10 times 100. So that's the same as let's do it here. 3 times 100 is 300. And 300 again, pens playing up. I'll try best. Divided by 10. I don't really need the bus stop for this, but if you need it, you can use it. It's 30%. That's how my working out is. So Isabel, she saves 30%. Work out who saves the most of their salary. You must show how. So it's, and I've shown through my working out over here. So let me write down Isabel. Well done, Isabel. Okay, and that's question 14. So I'm gonna stop over there in this video, partly because my pen is playing up and I need to try and fix it before I continue, as it will become very annoying and waste a lot of time, and then I'll continue with the rest of the video after this. Thank you very much for being patient, and hopefully this helps. I will quickly upload the second part, which will have, hopefully the second part will have the rest of the questions. If not, I will just do a few, maybe 2 or 3 parts after that.